Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy. You're sitting like fucking Aladdin over there on your magic carpet. Then you're fucking jazz handing me into the show. You fucking David Copperfield. All YouTube exclusives right there.
You know, for the people who don't watch on YouTube, they miss so much.
Yeah.
Even if you listen to the show in your car, go back, put it as background noise.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff you miss. And yes, I'm sitting shoeless because...
I said before, you're sitting like how my 4-year-old nephew watches cartoons. Like sweatpants, no shoes, Indian style on the couch. You're like a blankie and a fucking Capri Sun away from regressing. Like Robin Williams and Jack.
By the way, those both sound amazing right now. A blankie and a Capri Sun.
Can we get Ruther a blankie?
Yeah, my white blanket's over there. I don't need it, though. But I do. Here's what I just said. It's my apartment. I feel comfortable. I'm relaxed. Yeah, let's talk some sports. That's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
Shoeless, no socks. Someone on YouTube actually said that they like me better without shoes. So I've gone with the no shoes.
That's all it takes. It takes one guy on YouTube to go like, no more shoes. Somebody comment no pants for Ruther. Let's see. He's like, I'm doing it in my boxer shorts because some anonymous guy on YouTube.
Somebody comment no dick. Maybe I'll chop it off.
Okay, that's weird.
So we have a full house tonight.
Full house.
Full house.
There was an episode of The Interns recorded before this featuring the original, the OG, Joe Scibelli over in the corner there.
Shaboring.
What's up? How are you guys?
Oh, man.
The Interns was great. At one point, Trevor goes, okay, we got to get into it. We need, everybody wants to know. Hey, Bench Belly. Like they're about to get ready into the Western Conference. Like, what you been up to, Joe? The world wants to know.
How much dead air do you think was on the Interns?
There was probably a lot of dead air.
Right?
Yeah.
There was some dead air tonight, guys. That's why it was so funny. And so everybody knows we all were watching the Rockets-Warriors game. There was pizza here. You know, we've been doing some dirty sports thusting as a team. So we've all got the giggles tonight. And Scibelli, where have you been?
That's literally what Trevor said.
That's why I said it.
I've been on planet Earth.
That's why I said it.
No, I've been at school. I've been up at Gonzaga in Spokane, Washington. And yeah, I've had a fun semester.
I'm pretty sure it's Gonzaga, but anyway, keep going.
No, but I've had a fun semester, and yeah, no, it's good to be home. Actually, I'll be living up there this summer, so that will be a change of scenery. So.
And then, do you know your major?
Business, and I got a operations focus, so organizing
like
shit.
Board game?
Yeah, no, I'm business pre-med. No, I'm like I don't know, Amazon stuff, like figuring out how your package gets to your house and shit. So
Logistics.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm excited because you, in the fall of next school year, are going to St. Louis University Madrid.
Yes, I am.
Where I attended St. Louis University Madrid. And look how I turned out. So, the sky's the limit for you, Shaboring.
Well, I'm really thankful for that, but I'm not sure I want to end up living in a couch down by the beach.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Oh. I live on a couch? He kind of did the man down by the river.
Yeah.
Living in a couch.
I don't know if I want to be a man living in a couch down by the ocean.
But yeah.
He's doing you in reverse, by the way. He already did Dirty Sports, and then he's doing the Madrid. Next thing you know, he'll be a teacher at in Vegas.
Somewhere in Vegas.
Well, Scibelli, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. First impressions of the newly improved former Smut Shack, now Smut Studio.
Oh, it's impressive. I love the memorabilia.
It's an impressive place to record a podcast, not to live, apparently.
Yeah. No,
He's like, I wouldn't want to live here, but cool podcast, bro.
No, and then you got the Jobu statue over there, or as EJ knows it, it's just some random racist Indian statue.
Oh, wow.
We of us need
EJ still doesn't get that.
That could be a preview for later in the show. Maybe we'll do an intern off later in the show. Well, Scibelli, it's good to have you back. We're going to jump into some sports stuff. Prano?
Yeah.
We just watched Game 2.
Yep.
Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors. As you like to say, a boat race.
Yeah. I mean, the Rockets came out hot. They came out hot in Game 1 as well, but obviously they ended up losing that game by, I think it was 14 or whatever, 13, 14, 11, some low double-digit number, and that's what Golden State is going to do. Golden State is happy to go into halftime with you tied up, and they come out and they have their big third quarter. They were down double digits at half this time.
14.
And Houston just never let them back in it.
Yeah.
Got close. Houston lives and dies by their style of play, and there was certainly times down the stretch where I was like, geez, they're still hoisting, and there's 7 minutes left in the game. They're up 12, 13 points, and you're like, man, this is dangerous to just. But that, you got to give credit to Mike D'Antoni. He's been living and dying by that style of play for going on 15 years now. He's just never gonna. Mike D'Antoni is the definition of a throwback phrase from the Dirty Sports Podcast. Turn down for never. That guy's having his starters in hoisting threes. 3 minutes left in the game.
Where do you see this series going? Do you see it going 7?
So I said Warriors in 6. I am sticking with Warriors in 6 right now because I think that the Warriors get both games in Oakland. I think Houston gets their game at home, and then the Warriors close it out in Oakland. But I will say this. The Warriors did – I said that Game 1 – is exactly, that's the game where the Warriors take control of the series. If they get Game 1 in Houston, look out. And obviously Houston, they split in the 2 games in Houston, but I do think in this series in particular, there's a big difference between them winning Game 1 and them winning Game 2. Either of them winning Game 1 and 2. I think Houston going in and Golden State going in and setting a tone and going like we're winning Game 1. I think does have a different feel of momentum from winning Game 2 because they came out, they took it, great adjustments by Houston, great second game. Not only did they come back and win that game, but like you said, they boat raced them. But I will say this, if Houston gets one in Golden State of these next 2, then it turns into a Kevin Garnett series where anything is possible. Then it's definitely going 7, and then who knows? A Game 7 in Houston would be completely different than a Game 7 in Oakland. That's for sure. And that's anybody's game. And it's certainly what I'm rooting for. As much as I'm rooting for Houston to win, I'd love Houston to win in 5. I don't think they're going to win in 5. I'm still sticking with Warriors in 6, but I would love this to be a 7-game series.
I think Warriors in 5.
So you're just a guy who's like, I care not for what I just watched. I'm just like going to fucking.
Yeah, in a way. Because here's how I look at it. I think the Warriors, we both agree, have a significant home court advantage.
Yep.
Dude, let's talk about Houston's fans for a minute. Look, I don't know.
That's precisely what I said before the series, which is the only home court advantage per se that Houston has is not having to play 4 games there.
And I get that. I agree. But that's where I think this comes into play. I don't give the Rockets.
You don't give them a chance
to win either of those games. I don't. So in my opinion, the Warriors go up 3-1, and then they go back to Houston and they shut it down. That's what I think will happen. Who knows?
But the game you watched tonight, to me, that's not a game that was like the Cleveland Boston series. That's a series that you watch and you're like, man. Not only do I think that the Boston crowd was a factor in those first 2 games, I think they were a major factor in both those first 2 games. This was not a game where it was like, oh, they got that one because it was in Houston. They beat them by 30.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. When Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry combine for 30 points, I just don't see that happening. To me, that's the difference in this game. You have 3 stars who didn't have good games. Now, obviously, Houston's the reason behind that.
Yeah.
But I just don't see that happening.
But, Mike D'Antoni, and everybody knows I'm a Mike D'Antoni fan, I'll give him credit. He said exactly what I believed he was doing in Game 1, and he also said that they're not going to change their style of play in Game 2, which is Kevin Durant is going to get his points. He got 36, I believe, or 37 in Game 1. He got 38 tonight. They're not doubling him out on the perimeter. They're barely doubling him at all.
Yeah.
They're going to let him get his because Mike D'Antoni knows that the difference in this series is if you get guys like Clay and Steph just raining threes on you, those will break your will. Those will shut down your home crowd. Those will ignite your road crowd. Those will ignite the crowd in Oakland. So he's going, I will deal with Kevin Durant making shots that only Kevin Durant can make and going for 38. Klay Thompson hit 6 threes in Game 1. Is that right? And only took 4 threes tonight. So that's a matter of Clay. Forget didn't make his shots. He didn't even take his shots. And that's a lot of people standing around and watching Kevin Durant get 38 points.
Well, again, I think they'll make that adjustment. I just looked. Clay and Steph went combined from the field 10 of 30. And again, I just don't see that happening again. Those guys are just too fucking good.
I said prior to the series that I thought, in addition to the slight home court advantage of not having to play 4 games in Oakland, I said that D'Antoni has a slight edge coaching, and I said I believe that the Rockets had an edge in the backcourt, and I was amazed. Again, and I'm saying this, I believe that Steph, Clay, long-term, they're the Correa and Altuve of backcourts. They're the best backcourt ever, in my opinion. And even given that, I think with the state of their careers that Harden and Chris Paul are in, with D'Antoni in this system, that they have a backcourt edge. And people came at me like I said, like I had fucking attacked those guys. And when you look through two games, 70, 19, and 19 for Clay and Steph, 107, 29, and 19 for Chris Paul and James Harden. Like, there is that they are winning the backcourt battle. And what that comes down to is then not only are they kind of rendering them, not only are they going shot for them, they're beating them outright. And then, like I said, it all comes down to Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant's having big scoring games, but they're also, like, Kevin Durant can get his shot anytime he wants, and he's going to score a bunch of points. It's just a matter of, is Kevin Durant facilitating other people scoring as well? Are Steph, and by the way, he's not a facilitator, but I just mean in that, is he not stopping the ball? Are they playing that Warrior style of play where essentially what the Rockets did tonight, where everybody was scoring? Everybody's right. Gordon was scoring.
Yeah.
Like, Harden scoring. Ariza. Everybody had a great game. Now, I still think Warriors 6, but I said it before, the difference between a Warriors in 6 and a Rockets in 6 could be a couple plays in close games.
Well,
and
I'm glad. I want to hop in here for a second. I am glad that this is going to be a series. I mean, I know I'm saying in 5, but what the fuck do I know? That's just my
agreed.
It could easily go 7, but I'm glad because I was worried after Game 1. I thought James Harden had a great game. He did have a great game. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
He had a great Game 1. And they still lose. And I was worried. I go, oh, shit. Is this, it makes you think as a fan of the game. I wanted to bring up this question. Let's say the Rockets let's say the Warriors end up winning in 5. Go on the finals. Because to me, this is the finals, right?
Yeah.
Is this not, like, I'm sorry, I just don't give the Celtics or the Cavs a chance against either of these teams.
I really don't either, and it certainly looks like Boston has control of that series. Obviously, it's just home court so far. That is important to remember, but I certainly don't give either of those teams a chance against the Warriors because the Warriors have done it before. The Warriors have championship experience. The Warriors have played in those big moments. I don't really think that Boston can keep up with a Rockets team should they make it. But if it were Cavs-Rockets, that'd be an interesting series. Like, that would be – it's like you've got a team that's there for the first time. You've got D'Antoni who lives and dies by a system. And then that would be even more so than, even more so than Stevens strategizing versus LeBron, and that's honestly what that series is at this point.
Yeah.
That would just be LeBron doing LeBron things, the Rockets doing D'Antoni things, and let's just like see what happens.
But my question is that I was going to get to, if the Warriors do make another finals and win easily, I don't know that that's good for the NBA. And I said that last year. It's because
the Kevin Durant joining the 73-win Warriors wasn't good for anybody except Kevin Durant, the Warriors, and Warriors fans.
Exactly.
That's it. It wasn't. It just straight up wasn't. And that is what I said going into this series is the Rockets have all of this going for them, and the Warriors were a great championship franchise, and they added Kevin Durant, and that is the difference. How Kevin Durant plays, how well he plays within their system, if they use him the right way. It's like that's the difference. One thing's for sure, and I know you're like anti Mike D'Antoni, but
I'm not anti.
But this series, it's like if I know the Rockets were the 1 seed, and I know the Rockets have a home court advantage, but this is a major upset if they beat the Warriors, like because the Warriors have the best team in basketball.
No denying.
There's 4 guys on that team who are perennial all-stars, including the second and maybe third best players in basketball. Like, that's pretty fucking tough to beat. And it's certainly tough to beat in a Western Conference Finals game by 25. That's why you got to think, wow, this could be an interesting series.
Yeah. Look, I'm not denying that the Rockets are an overwhelming underdog.
But the Rockets. I know I've slurped Mike D'Antoni over and over and over again. But as a basketball fan and as a guy who a lot of Knicks fans hate Mike D'Antoni, but this is exactly what he did in New York, and it didn't make a lot of people there happy. It made me ecstatic. I loved it. But the first question, it was like, what were the adjustments you made? He sarcastically is like, yeah, last game we came out, we were loose California gunning, and tonight we were the triple threat. He's like, no, we did the exact same thing, and we didn't turn the ball over tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what happens is you play a team like the Warriors, it doesn't matter if you're at home, you're on the road, if it's a first round, if it's a second round, if it's a Western Conference Finals. If you make mistakes, they're going to beat you. And they turned the ball over. They played sloppy in game 1, and the Warriors won that game easily, even though it was tied at half. Game 2, they don't turn the ball over. Guys start hitting their shots. A little bit of the pressure of, holy shit, Chris Paul never played in the Western Conference Finals before. Half of those guys have probably never been this far in the playoffs. And suddenly a little bit of the nerves are gone, and they start hitting their shots. And it's not like, oh, they evened up the series at home. Like, they smashed them in the mouth. That wasn't a game for, maybe there's 10 minutes of running time in that game where people are like, oh, this is a game.
Well, I am enjoying the bad blood, I will say. I'm enjoying the scuffles, the fight. I mean, that was from tip-off.
Yeah.
Draymond Green from tip-off was getting into shit. I do like that.
And I'll tell you what, again, the Warriors have a significant talent advantage.
Sure.
But toward the end of that game, and I was saying this while we were watching it, the Warriors blow out teams all the time. Like, what percentage of Warriors games do you think are 15-point wins? Like, half of them?
Yeah.
They are a team that is used to winning big. You got to also realize when you're playing a team like Houston, they're going to have a night like this. The fact that Kevin Durant, of all people, Draymond is one. Like, Draymond Green is going to do Draymond Green things. That's why he's out there. But Kevin Durant, the second best player in the world, is out there just straight up shoving dudes at the end of the game. J.R. Smith shoved a dude at the end of the Boston game yesterday. That's what J.R. Smith's going to do. Draymond Green's going to shove some fucking people around. You've got guys that are out there that they're going to – that's their sole purpose on the floor. Marcus Smart's going to do that shit. Kevin Durant's just shoving dudes into the first row. That shows me, again, what I've been saying about Kevin Durant, mentally soft as shit. But also, you're in Kevin Durant's head in game 2 of the series. Like, what the fuck, dude? The series is tied, and you have the best roster, and you're going back to Oakland. Why are you shoving dudes? Same question. Why do you care about bloggers? Why do you give a shit that Bill Simmons ranks players? Like, chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, but let me play devil's advocate. It's like saying, why do we care about idiots on Twitter who want to argue 90s versus nowadays basketball.
Because we're right and they're wrong.
But isn't that
Kevin Durant is wrong, and he's doing it anyway. Why shove Trevor Ariza? Like, give me one reason. Why would you shove Trevor Ariza with absolutely? He didn't do anything to you. No one's talking. He just comes down the floor and you shove him in the first row.
But my argument is that idiots will get in our heads just like idiots are going to get in Kevin Durant's head.
Oh, no one's in my head when that happens. I've told you I'm taking it. I'm house to house. I'm Paul.
No, shit, it's
I'm
not
Paul.
in your head.
I'm Paul Revering. I will never let this die.
Joe,
I did it to you for 2 years. I'll do it to people on the internet. I've been doing it about Kaepernick. I've been doing it about fucking Brady. I do it all the time. I know that you just got pulled into this world where the '90s basketball thing has overtaken your life, dude. I've been doing this for fucking. I was doing this before the internet. I was mailing letters. To people back in the day.
Well, the '90s thing, and we're bringing back Troller Moron tease later in the show because of that. Because I'm more now. I'm to the point of intrigued.
Yeah.
From a social and psychological point of view.
Yeah.
At people, I actually had a long discussion with Trevor when we were hanging out discussing it. Like it's mind blowing to me because at this point I feel people who won't accept that the basketball is better than it's ever been. It just means to me you don't accept evolution.
Yeah.
Not that it's the same, but it's on par. Anyway, let's move on to the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? You guys are giggling back there? I don't know. I want to say this before even LeBron's mentioned, because I don't think he's been given enough credit. Danny Ainge, what he has put together as a GM, and I know we've talked about it. I was thinking about this last night, and I didn't look it up because I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it, but I just couldn't think off the top of my head. Has there been a bad move that Danny Ainge has made from – they're all great moves.
Well, they're not all great moves.
What has been a bad move?
Well, you traded Kendrick Perkins back in the day in between following the championship, and then they went back into that Lakers series – without Kendrick, without a big man, and then Pau Gasol ate them alive.
No, actually, Kendrick got hurt that series.
In the championship series or in the Lakers series?
In the Lakers series.
But then he traded him as well. Like didn't he trade him for?
He traded him to OKC, right?
Yeah.
For Green.
Yeah.
Jeff Green.
That wasn't Jeff Green ended up being nothing for Boston, and Kendrick Perkins, while being nothing in the NBA, had a role on Boston with Big Baby and with Pearson.
I get that, but he did get hurt. He got hurt the second series. But my point is,
but he certainly hasn't nailed all his drafts.
Well, look, overall, I'm just saying. I was thinking Danny Ainge.
I hate to do this because I feel you. There's an episode of the show where you like literally come out and you're like, I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, is Danny Ainge completely overrated? You have that take on the show.
Well, maybe I've changed it.
You literally are like, what is everybody's Danny Green, Danny Ainge?
I would love to see that because if I said that, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was just point blank wrong.
But I think, look, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, it's like
look at this year's team, though.
But it's like saying, you know, then it's. I hate to go back to Mike D'Antoni because this is like anything, but it's like, people were like, the fucking Suns just gave, Steve Nash all that money. Like everybody's like, what the fuck? And then he ends up being a 2-time MVP. It's like, it's not just the players. It's like you have to take the players and put them in the right system. And Brad Stevens has gotten the most out of everybody on that team.
But that's my point. Who hired Brad Stevens? Danny Ainge.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. When Brad Stevens, who continues to amaze me, when I watch the Celtics play, when I watch what he gets out of these guys like a Terry Rozier who were playing in the D League 2 years ago.
Right.
When I see what he can get out of these guys, it blows my mind because when Brad Stevens was hired, you're not a big college basketball guy. I am. When he was hired, I had followed Butler closely. He'd done wonders there. He took him to back-to-back national title games. But I remember thinking, can this guy...
Did they play in back-to-back title games?
Back-to-back title games.
I remember they played Duke, right, one year.
Yeah. And then the next year, I want to say they played Connecticut. But my point is, I was just amazed by how quickly Brad Stevens has turned this thing around. And also, dude, this is what I'll say about the Celtics. And maybe this is like a fucking premature Ruther hot take. I think Brad Stevens and the Celtics organization right now, they're like the fucking Spurs, man. They're like the new Spurs. Even if they lose this series to the Cavs, I just see where it's headed. Where, like you're saying, where Brad Stevens can plug anyone in. He is just a phenomenal coach.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. And I think that is the difference in these two series right now is, you know, as much as I love Mike D'Antoni, I also think Steve Kerr is a good coach. I think Steve Kerr gets the most out of his players, and I think they like playing for him, and I think he knows how to handle, you know, Draymond's, you know, wildness, and I think he knows how to handle the fact that KD is a 13-year-old girl in a 30-year-old man's body, and I think he knows how to take care of all that. And Mike D'Antoni obviously has a system and obviously gets the most out of his players. And then you look at Brad Stevens, who's a fantastic, maybe the best coach in the NBA, and then you have Tyronn Lue, who has swallowed 6 mosquitoes since the series started. I think Tyronn Lue's the kind of guy who puts pillows on the floor next to his hotel room bed in case he falls out in the middle of the night.
Did you hear,
the dude is fucking retarded.
Did you hear? And I know they're gonna just say it. It's bullshit lip service. But did you hear what Van Gundy and Mark Jackson said?
No.
About Tyronn Lue yesterday.
And by the way, let me just say before you tell me what it was, I think both of those guys were horrible basketball coaches.
Van Gundy, it was mostly Van Gundy, went on a rant saying,
great announcer, terrible basketball coach.
He basically said, look, he gets an awful rep. He's the quickest to whatever so many games that he's won in the playoffs in NBA history. And he said, well, they always say, well, you have LeBron James. And then he brought up, well, Phil Jackson had Michael. And, you know, bringing up, you know, Pop had Duncan and, you know, all those great players.
And then Pop did it without Duncan.
Yeah.
You know, like Pop did it with the end of the line Duncan. And Pop turned Tony Parker and Pop turned, Ginobili, and Pop turned Kawhi Leonard into a top 3 player in the NBA. And, but Greg Popovich, like, to compare, I mean, they should honestly fire Jeff Van Gundy for it. They should fire him for it.
I don't know if he said Pop. I might have been making that up, but I know he was naming good coaches.
Yeah.
He named Phil Jackson for sure.
Yeah, which we all, you know, Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson had Shaquille O'Neal. And it's hard, you know, he had them in their primes and he had them when, you know, it's tough to lose with guys like that. But, like, it's a completely different story than, you know, like Tyronn Lue has LeBron James. And what has he done with him? He didn't three-peat. He didn't and that's more on Tyronn Lue than it is on LeBron James, because look at what LeBron James has been able to fucking do in this league. And it's exactly what's happening in the Golden State series. Mike D'Antoni is saying, Kevin Durant's going to get his. Let's worry about everybody else. And then everybody else fucking lit it up tonight.
Yeah.
And Brad Stevens says, LeBron James is going to get his. Let's make sure that J.R. Smith doesn't get hot. That, Kevin Love doesn't get hot. That Clarkson doesn't get hot. That fucking George Hill doesn't get hot. And what was their stat line last night? What was the also ran stat lines? Like, they were 1 for 14 as a group.
Well, the big stat last night, because people are now that, you know, I have been vocal about my support of LeBron James, people are coming to me hot on Twitter, of course. The stat last night that if you're just a rational person, if you're a rational human being, and you see this stat, like I told you earlier today, my brother, who doesn't follow the NBA, would not stop texting me saying, Jesus Christ, who are these? He kept saying homeless and high school guys that LeBron's playing with. Guys, when the backcourt of the Celtics has 41 points, and Jaylen Brown goes off again, and the backcourt of the Cavs has 3 with George Hill, J.R. Smith, 41-3, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Just, you're not going to win.
Yeah, and, like, how much can LeBron James do? Like, he came out early in the game.
21
in the first quarter. He had 4 threes. He probably got concussed. Let's be honest. Took a shoulder to the forehead. He's like, how much can the guy do? It's basically the exact same as game 1 and it's the exact same in game 1 and game 2 of the Western Conference Series. Kevin Durant's going to do Kevin Durant things, and like if the other guys score, if Klay Thompson hits 6 threes, they win huge. If their backcourt scores 0 points, they lose huge. LeBron James is always going to get nothing from the other guys, or borderline nothing. No, like I would love to see the Cavs record when, J.R. Smith hits 5 threes in a game, or 6 threes, or any combination of those guys has 10 threes combined.
And for the record, again, this isn't excuses. It's at the end of the day, it's a team sport, right? It's a team sport. So for me, I don't know what people want when J.R. Smith has 0 points. 0 points.
Yeah. I mean, read the stat lines. Like, give me everybody.
The only person who played well was Kevin Love. Kevin Love had 22 points. Tristan Thompson had 8. George Hill had 3. J.R. Smith had 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boston's home court advantage is legit.
Yeah.
Those fans are rabid. LeBron James, just look at the way LeBron James is walking off the court with a concussion, and guys are fucking giving him the finger and pointing at him and screaming. It's like there is a distinct home court advantage. They got the first 2 at home. I mean, it looks tough for them. It looks tough because I think Brad Stevens is the best coach, and I think that Brad Stevens is going to find a way to say, hey, LeBron James can't score 90. So if we score 90, we're going to win. And he's just got to keep those other guys from having any sort of contribution to the game.
Yeah.
And if they do, the Celtics are going to, the Cavs could win. But if they don't, it's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah. Gotcha. No, I agree. It's going to be tough. But I'm still not calling the Cavs done. I'm not.
I'm not either. So far, it's just 2 games at home.
The Celtics are still young.
They've been bad on the road. They've been unbeaten at home.
Exactly. So if the Cavs take the next 2, then we got ourselves a series.
Yeah, and then it's KG series, right?
Then it's anything is possible.
Yeah, because the idea of LeBron James going into any place and taking over and not being like refusing to be stopped regardless of whether or not people score is certainly possible. But if they lose 1 game in Cleveland, good night and good luck.
I agree. Cleveland has to take both games. No doubt about it. And J.R. Smith, dear God, man. I mean, it's no different.
I was watching the end of the game at the Improv. I went to the Improv last night, and I brought Ernie Jr. here with us, and he was. I mean, he watched me watch the game. Every move, what is J.R. Smith doing on the floor at the end of a game like that? You're just like asking he hasn't hit a 3 all game.
Well, that's what the announcers said. Yeah. We just knocked them, but they did. Mark Jackson, I believe, it was the one who said it, who goes, J.R. Smith has not hit a 3 all game. Why is he on the court?
Yeah. He's only on the court to fuck up. Like, here's what J.R. Smith does. J.R. Smith makes completely moronic, bonehead plays and hits 3s. If he hasn't hit a 3 all game, what left is there for him to do out there? So what was he doing on the floor? Jeff Green was a turnover bonanza late in that game, where it seemed like every time Jeff Green got the ball, he kicked it to somebody, he lost it, somebody stripped him with it. Yeah. Tyronn Lue is lost. That series is coming down because, Boston has a lot of talent, but not like they don't have any standout, like, oh my God, this guy's Tatum is great, but Tatum's 22 years old or 20 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's 20 years old. And the Cavs have guys who have been all-stars, and they have Tyronn Lue, who is lost. That series is Brad Stevens teaching Tyronn Lue basketball, and Tyronn Lue having a learning disability, asking the SAT guy for extra time, and then being like, this is a basketball game, dude. You do not get extra time. You are done when you're done, and you guys are done.
Yeah, it's painful. There's no doubt about it. It's painful every time the camera cuts to Tyronn Lue. I mean, that look on his face.
It's like you watching that game, too. LeBron James comes out and plays like that. It's like the only adjustment they made is he's like, wow, I'm not going to let this be up to everybody else. I'm going to come out and go hard. And he did. But how long? That's not something that's sustainable. You can't do that. When they're so spread out, when they don't have one guy and it doesn't become a battle between two players, you that's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
LeBron James versus the Celtics.
But that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Is that people want to say, oh, he wilts in the fourth quarter when you're like, well, dude, if he doesn't have 21, you know what? Another interesting thing that somebody pointed out last night during the game was that it was Van Gundy. He foresaw it. Van Gundy said, LeBron James, it doesn't matter who it is, something like this. When one guy on your team gets 21 points in the first quarter and you're only up 4 points, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Again, Brad Stevens is doing the exact. Brad Stevens and Mike D'Antoni are attacking the best player on both teams the exact same way. One-on-one.
Yeah.
With a bunch of different guys.
Sure.
We'll try Smart. We'll try, Morris. We'll try Jaylen Brown. We'll try Horford. And same thing that D'Antoni's doing. He's like, oh, Nene and Mbamute and Harden for a little bit. And Chris Paul's on Kevin. And the point is,
you pronounce those names so well.
Yeah,
I could do that.
And what he's doing is he's saying, we're not really trying to stop you. We're just trying to give you a bunch of different looks, and maybe one time down the floor, Chris Paul will fuck you up, and then then Kevin Durant will go, well, here's how I score on Chris Paul, and then you do it, and then you throw a different look at him, and it's really just to be annoying. It's really just to continue to change the way that defense is playing, just to try to fuck him up a little bit, a possession here, a possession there. That's exactly what Brad Stevens is doing. To the Scibelli's like, Scibelli can't take this hot take. He's like, whoo, we're running out of juice over there.
Grab the mic, Scibelli. What I've never heard someone take a gulp of water and be so loud. He was like, he's
like squeeze the bottle.
He was like LeBron playing 5-on-1.
He was like an Orangina commercial. The guy's like, refresh.
I'm just thirsty. I mean,
you were so aggressive. You're like, it's so tough to hear these guys talk sports.
I mean, that's just what
a
I'm
European
thirsty.
soda commercial. Like, so much lemon refreshment.
When they talk about Tyronn Lue, I just need that fresh bottle of Airhead. Scibelli. Hey, Scibelli, grab that mic still. What I want to talk to you about is I was actually looking at tickets on SeatGeek to go to, what is it, FC Club LA? That doesn't make any sense.
LAFC, Los Angeles Football Club.
Yeah, because you just went to a soccer game.
I did.
The new soccer team here.
I went to the new stadium, Bank of California Stadium downtown. Yeah, I mean, it was my my third LAFC game.
Wow, already.
Yeah. So
you think I should hop on SeatGeek, get those tickets, get that $20 rebate?
Yeah, go check out the new stadium. Tickets are pretty cheap, and I hear they're even cheaper on SeatGeek. So
Scibelli still knows how to work it. I love it. He still knows how to work it. That's right, guys. The tickets will be even cheaper on SeatGeek. Also, because, and this is why actually, all the listeners get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. And I was telling Prano before the show, I'm going to look on SeatGeek, Elton John's final tour.
I know. I said you're going to go on a date with Margaret.
Maybe I will. Or maybe I will.
Is this going to be like us going to U2? I mean, what happened, bro?
U2 is playing right now.
I know. We should have skipped this. We should have done this tomorrow morning.
We should have let the interns do the show.
Yeah.
How do you think our audience would have reacted? How would the Dirtballs reacted if we just let the three interns do like a 90-minute podcast?
I mean, I'm sure there would have been a couple of people who are just straight up assholes. It's like, guys, you owe me 104 episodes a year, even though I pay nothing.
Wait, our fans are the guy from Simpsons?
Yeah. The asshole ones, yeah.
The comic book guy from Simpsons. That's great, Frano.
Andrew Boggs is like, the reason is 104 2-hour episodes and no longer, and no shorter. That's the rule.
Prano, this is what I'm going to say about Prano, which
never forgets.
I was going to say, but no, but one step further. You not only never forget any sort of troll, critic, any sort of negative reaction, you normally
I'm Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech of podcasting. You know what I mean? Like trainers that fucking did me wrong. The massage guy who stopped massaging me 5 minutes earlier.
But my point is,
revenge is a dish best served cold.
You'll remember that person more than you will like the polite dirtball who's like, love the show.
Yo, totally. Yeah. The hate fuels me, dude.
Yeah.
When I got my Oscar, I'm going to be like, fuck you, Bugs. This one's for you. That movie was 3 hours long. I hope you didn't see it, you fucking loser.
See?
Nice fucking chin beard.
See?
Nice fucking flavor saver.
You're going off on a guy
Eating fucking J.J. Watt's asshole at fucking Houston cheddar dick. I know those guys still listen. Those guys are like, that's why I stopped listening to your show. I have a feeling I'll be at Maddie's DMs tomorrow.
Savage. I want to do a new segment.
Okay. What's the new segment?
Just, we have the Aaron Hernandez Savage Award. We need to just do a Savage of the Week.
Why? What happened?
Well, shit, we might as well get to it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought that's what you were teasing us for. Like, I want to do a new segment later in the show.
There's so many segments I want to do this show. And there's so many people here, I don't know what to do. We got to talk about this guy who was 25, who posed as a 17-year-old. Joe didn't read the rundown. He's giving me this.
I saw somebody pretended to be younger for high school, right? High school basketball?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So this dude, what's up? It's awesome in a sick way, right? This guy claimed that he was a Hurricane Harvey. Was it Harvey? I lose track. There's so many hurricanes. So he basically said he was
Hurricane Harvey, by the way, is going to be what happens to the Cincinnati Reds if that guy ever pitches into the 5th inning.
Yeah, seriously. Well, the Reds have won 2 games with Harvey starting. So, anyway, this guy said he was a displaced Hurricane Harvey person that showed up homeless.
Okay.
Refugee. Is that the word we're using? Refugee? Interesting. Okay. I thought that was only for foreigners. But anyway, so he was a...
To anybody seeking refuge,
Okay.
Andy.
It's apparently me, according to Scibelli.
Yeah.
I need refuge because I live on a couch down by the ocean. So this guy, Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap-Portley. You guys like my French there?
Yeah.
I pronounced it Bouvier. Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap-Portley.
That guy's unbelievable. He was a refugee, but he came in a top hat with fucking a cane. He's like, Sidney Poitier Millsap, reporting for basketball duty, good sir. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to Marvin Gardens for me.
So
Gift that.
Yeah.
he was arrested. You guys can write that down. I don't know when to give it. He was arrested Friday and faces charges tampering with government records. He was booked because, according to records,
He's also getting arrested for having the whitest name ever on a black guy.
Oh, but here's the best part. Here's the best part. The name he went as was black. Rashawn Richardson, Rashun.
Well, I'm pretty sure he couldn't go as his own name. He's probably the only one that comes up when you Google him.
So he played.
Did you say Bouvier?
He played in high school basketball, and this is the best part. This story gets even deeper because there was a tweet that went out in December. This is the part that I couldn't stop laughing at. They tweeted in December this account, GT Prospect Report, which is looking for high school prospects, tweeted Dallas Hillcrest was led by 6'2" guard Rashawn Richardson, 34 points, 15 rebounds. They show his picture.
Yep.
He's 27, and the story gets even worse. He was dating a freshman, a 14-year-old girl at the school.
So that's what he was arrested for.
No, but he hasn't been charged with that yet because, according to records, they claim there was no sexual relations. So I don't know if he was just sending her, like, fucking Insta story selfies or what he was doing. But, yeah, dude, this guy, savage.
And, like, what? I mean, that's some Julio Franco shit. Like, what is the end game here? You get to the NBA and you got to wash out because you actually make the league at 34? Like, how? What was his end game? Just, like, dominate high school basketball as an adult?
That's the thing. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find. I want to know his stat line. Like, Was he the LeBron James? Does anybody know?
I thought the funniest part, though, was that he transferred high schools. Like, he played a season
Yeah.
and then transferred to another high school.
After.
Wow. Like,
Bro,
already after.
he enrolled as a freshman. Yeah. Wasn't that the story, Trevor? Yeah.
Black don't crack. Am I right? Can you imagine if I had showed up somewhere at 28 that'd have been like, nice mustache, bro. Get out of here.
Bro.
What is this, 21 Jump Street? Like,
He graduated.
hello, fellow kids.
He graduated high school in 2012. I'll say it was because it was either a year after me or a year before me. Now it's 11, so it was either 2010, 2012. But then he enrolled like a year ago as a freshman, played a year, and then enrolled at another school.
He was like, he was team hopping because he didn't get the, he's like, I got to go where the competition's even easier. But you made a good point. You show up, they go nuts. I can't even sign up for an SAT without like the fucking feds showing up to my house.
Yeah.
This guy waltzes in. He's fucking jerking off on 14-year-old girls and like, it's cool. It's Sidney fucking Poitier.
Yeah.
Who is the fucking actor?
Yeah. Sidney Poitier. Yeah, you
Okay.
nailed it.
You just gotta be a refugee. Everywhere you go now, you're a refugee.
Man, that's all Mildred is right now. It's all refugees.
You got fucking flies in here, bro. The fuck? Maybe Scibelli's right. Why is this? You got mosquitoes in here. You gotta get Tyronn Lue in here. Eat some of these fucking bugs. By the way, if Tyronn Lue had been coaching this guy, he'd have been like, I'm just going to play you 6 minutes today. He's like, I'm an adult, coach. Put me in. I'm an adult playing his children. He's like, I don't like the look of you.
Tyronn Lue should coach this guy.
Yeah.
Serious question. This guy joins the Cavs, replaces J.R. Smith. Serious question. Last game against the Celtics, does Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap-Portley help, hurt, or do nothing to the cause on the Cavs game last night?
Last night, I think he scores because how many points did J.R. Smith have? 0. I think he gets at least one bucket when, like, Terry Rozier's like, is your last name Gilstrap-Portley? And he's like, bucket! He's, like, trying to sound it out.
You bring up a great point, though. What is the
So,
end
wait,
game?
like, Morris is like, wait, so your mom was Gilstrap and your dad was Portley? Or was that? He's like, 2 points.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I told the story, right? We had a refugee who lived with us in Las Vegas after the hurricane had hit. Whichever one in 2006 was in Houston. That was Katrina, actually. Katrina. We had a Spanish.
Suddenly you're remembering refugees can come from Texas?
Yeah, but it also hit Texas. Yeah. So we had a guy stay with us. He was from Spain. He was a teacher.
Where was this? In Vegas?
In Las Vegas. So
okay.
my roommate.
So he was a teacher.
My roommate, we had an extra bedroom. He's like, I figured we got an extra bedroom. Sorry, you got to share a bathroom with somebody. And I was like, fuck this refugee guy. I don't want to be sharing a bathroom with this fuck.
Fuck refugees.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was from Spain though. And he was a music teacher. But the best part was the plan completely backfired. I think I've told this on air. I told it on maybe Dent Report. The plan backfired because he was such an idiot. He one day was throwing out paper, and instead of putting it in the trash, like old papers, he was flushing them down the toilet.
What, like papers he had graded?
Yeah, he was flushing papers down the toilet, and I'm eating a bowl of cereal in the kitchen, and all of a sudden all this water just avalanches down. And my roommate, it was a condo he owned. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? I run up.
And then he went to another city and lived there, and they were like, what happened? He was like, another flood. Just floods everywhere I go. It's like, motherfucker, it's supposed to be from the hurricane, not you overflowing toilets with fucking. Also, who has papers in music class? What's this guy doing? Write a 4-page paper on why you'd ever want to go see Elton John.
I could do that. Yeah, it was bizarre, and he also loved watching softcore porn.
Like what? Like fucking Shannon Tweed shit?
Skinamax, yeah. Because I remember one time I came home and he's like, "You want to watch this?" And I was like, "What are you watching?" And he shows me, and the weird thing is, I end up watching like maybe a. 30,
you want to watch this?
I watched I watched the whole movie with him.
Why don't you watch hardcore porn? He's like, well, when I watch hardcore porn, I end up jerking off. Then the tissue paper floods the toilet, and then I gotta go again.
Yeah, it was not a good situation, man.
Serious question: if that guy joined the Cavs,
they're probably better off.
Yeah.
Again, J.R. Smith, 0 points.
Yeah, and a flagrant foul at the end of the game. He was actually minus points for his own team.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because he had 0.
Yeah,
and it
you're
cost
right.
him a free one.
Yeah, that's a good point. You want to play Troll or Moron?
Sure.
It's been a minute. You want to bring? I'm excited.
We have a
back.
very special themed edition of Troll or Moron, right?
We do. In fact, you don't have to grab the headphones. The headphones are strictly for the intro song, which I love.
Oh, because the rest are tweets?
Yes, and I have to hear it. Okay. But Trevor, you should wear the headphones just to make sure that he's got a pair. All right, so let's bring it back, fellas.
It's time.
Oops, not playing right. Is my shit not working? Let's see.
Volume on?
Yeah, is it plugged in? Let's try again.
Yeah, you're plugged in.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Weird, it's not even playing. Let's try it again. This is always fun. It's not even showing up. I don't know. God damn it. I'm so excited to play that song.
Everything's plugged in. Like, it's all...
Is the volume going up on the Zoom? Is there any volume showing when I'm hitting play?
Is the Zoom volume turned up?
Hit play.
Is the Zoom volume turned up?
Yeah, no, it's up.
Is the button engaged?
Oh, there.
This guy's a straight up moron.
Complete troll.
Total.
It wasn't the volume.
It was volume.
It's time for intern or moron.
All right, let's do it.
My bad.
3 interns.
My bad.
No intern on the volume. This is like how many interns does it take to fucking
Time.
Now
screw in a light bulb.
I gotta adjust it.
Troll or moron?
This guy's a straight up moron.
Complete troll.
Total troll. You're not a troll. You're just a moron.
I think he's a troll.
I'm starting to think he might be just the biggest fucking moron of all time. Or is he trolling us? Troll or moron. Troll or moron. Troll or moron.
Wow, Trevor, that was a Trevor-esque moment.
It happens.
Did you guys enjoy that song, everybody?
Same old song.
All right, Prano. So this comes from Steve Kerr's comments,
Right.
which, you know what? I'm going to play them for the listeners.
Okay.
You already know them, but it's important. This is the other day, Steve Kerr was interviewed.
After the first quarter
Yes.
of Rockets Warriors, it was the first quarter shaped up as many people thought it would. It's the highest evolution of basketball, the number 1 seed in the West versus the Warriors, the defending champion Warriors, playing a style of basketball that is, basketball everything just keeps getting better, and it's fantastic. Everybody on the court can hit a 3 anytime. Defense, running, it's high speed, it's high intensity, it's fucking awesome.
Exactly. And this is what Steve Kerr had to say. This is just a quick 11-second clip.
Just watching our guys and how talented they are and how talented Houston is, there's no way I could have played in the NBA today. So I came around at the right time 20 years ago. Thank you, Steve.
So he says, there's no way I could have played in the NBA today. I played at the right time
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah. So it's important for everybody out there to remember Steve Kerr is coaching Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. He's trying to defend the Warriors championship. And what he took away from the first quarter is I could never play today. That's what he took away. That's what when they came to him after the first quarter, that's what he wanted to say.
Well, and what I want to add to that is, again, I was very perplexed because I put this out on both my personal and Dirty Sports Twitter feed. Actually, I put it out on a shit ton of accounts that I run.
Yep.
Just to see the reactions.
And I merely tweeted, before you had the video and everything, I merely tweeted, well, Steve Kerr just put a nail in the 90s NBA is better than today coffin. and Twitter, added it to moments yesterday, the day after the game.
R.I.P. mentions.
R.I.P. mentions. Every avatar, every person on Twitter without an avatar that's a Trump supporter or lives in Chicago,
I told you, it's
or
Trump
whatever,
supporters, man.
or has a Kobe Bryant meme. Every one of them was
Jordan.
like, every one of them was like, no. And I'm like, I didn't say it. Steve Kerr, 5-time champion as a player, 2-time champion as a coach, said it. Take it up with Steve Kerr.
Phoenix Suns general manager.
Played with Jordan. Coach of the best team ever in record. Coach of the defending champs.
Hit some key shots to win the Bulls those titles.
Yeah.
So the tweets are just on fire, and I'm like perplexed. Oh, he's just saying that to be nice. Well, no, he doesn't have to say that at all.
Yeah.
There is, for the record, there is no reason that Steve Kerr has to say that. There is no reason he has to say.
Look at what Popovich says during his, first quarter. Look at Tyronn Lue was like, it's hot in here. And they're like, you didn't say anything about the game. He's like, temperature, hot. They're like, okay. Steve Kerr's like, holy shit, did you guys watch that? I could never play today.
So the tweets are flooding, but I noticed there were some dirtballs. That's why it's like, are they trolling us or are they just morons? So here's the first one that I'll read.
Who is this in response to?
The Steve Kerr video.
Yeah, no, I know.
On Dirty Sports.
Okay, so this is a response, a reply to Dirty Sports.
If you're a fan of guys just coming down and launching threes and barely playing defense, sure, you think today's league is better. Oh, I love these people. If you like hard-nosed, here we go again, tough, strategic ball, like Brad Stevens, you probably think 90s NBA is better. It's merely preference.
Yeah, it's not merely preference, according to Steve Kerr, who said, I could not play today. It's not. He didn't say, I don't prefer to play today. He said talent twice. He said talent twice. When I look at how talented we are and how talented Houston is, I think, wow, I could never play today. He says talent twice. So what Steve Kerr was saying, so you're a moron. This isn't a troll. This is a moron.
Okay.
Strategy? There's no strategy. He said, I do not have the talent to play today. I did have the talent to play 20 years ago. The talent is better now than it was 20 years ago. He didn't say the style is different. He said the talent is different. That's what he said word for word. He said talent twice in 11 seconds. You're a moron. What's it? I need see this is you can't. You have to make sure that you say who these people are, Ruther, so that I can make sure to never forget them.
Okay, so this person, Keith A. Brockman, Brockman.
Keith A. Brockman, you're a moron.
From New York. He would not stop tweeting. This is what I love. He averaged 17 minutes and 6 points a game back then. Guys,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But why does that matter? He still played on those teams.
Yeah, he was not a starter on those teams. He's absolutely 100% right. What Steve Kerr is saying is, sure, maybe the best guys in the NBA back then could still play today, but guess what? Michael Jordan wouldn't be scoring on Jeff Hornacek or Craig Elo because those guys wouldn't exist today. He'd be playing more talented people every night. Every night. More talented people. Because those people don't have the talent to play today, like Steve Kerr did.
Yeah. All right. Troll or moron? Not at all. Laughing emoji.
Well, anytime there's a laughing emoji, it's probably a moron.
NBA is garbage now with incredible athletes who don't play real basketball. So he's agreeing that the athletes are incredible, but somehow we're living in this matrix of fake basketball.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you're not actually going to get me to say that any of these people are trolls. That's another moron comment. When people see what I don't understand, and again, I am not only a major NBA fan, but I was a Knicks fan growing up.
Yes.
I was a fan of the teams that played that style. There is nothing at all more enjoyable about that than there is other. This isn't vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream. This is vanilla ice cream with rocks in it or vanilla ice cream with Reese's Pieces in it. This is not a fucking question. One was bad. One was a style of play that was solely to lower the playing field so that the best players couldn't excel. Pat Riley's strategy was, let's make this ugly. Let's make this bad. Let's make people take bad shots, make bad passes. Let's get each other angry. Let's get into a fight. Let's get guys thrown out. That was his goal. His goal was to make it worse. His goal was to make the basketball worse. 100%. 100%. Pat Riley was also the coach of the Showtime Lakers, when his goal was to run the fucking floor and use their athleticism. And then his goal in the 90s was to make it ugly. Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Xavier McDaniel, all of those guys, every fucking guy that they had, every guy that they traded for, John Starks. John Starks was a grocery bagger. That was his job. And then he was like, do you want to come in the NBA and just like shove dudes around? And he's like, absolutely. That was the point. The idea that was somehow better basketball, you're a moron.
Yeah.
The guys who were doing it didn't think it was better basketball.
It's like this.
The coach whose strategy wasn't better basketball.
It's like saying this. Let me just break down a very simple equivalent. It's like saying in the mid to late 90s, let's bring up college basketball. During the NCAA tournament, you preferred watching Princeton hold the ball, backdoor cuts, one shot, versus Rick Pitino's fast break, full court press, Kentucky Wildcats. It's like saying that Kentucky was a worse style of basketball, right?
Yeah. But it's not even because Princeton's strategy was to slow it down and like have precise cuts.
Yeah.
Pat Riley's style was, let's make it ugly. Let's make it bad. That was his style with the 90s Knicks. That was what he was doing to the Bulls.
Okay.
That's what Chuck Daly was doing with the Pistons. That was the strategy.
A couple more. LeBron, this guy is a dirtball. At Grayson 814. LeBron would be put on a stretcher by Bill Laimbeer. I think he is being a troll.
That could be a troll.
You responded to him seriously, though, on Dirty Sports.
Yeah.
Is that a troll or moron?
He could be a troll,
or
but
he could be a big Jordan fan.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Bill Laimbeer thing. I replied, what was it, Grayson 814? I replied because like people believe this. Whether this guy's trolling or not, people believe
Sam Tripoli.
People believe Bill Laimbeer's fucking dad bod was going to take down a freak athlete that everybody has known was a freak athlete since he was 15 years old, who has come into the NBA, spends $1.5 million on his body, is in the fucking most freakish physical condition of anybody that we've ever seen. He's 6'8", 265. He's been playing 15 years because he's a fucking NFL tight end playing point guard in the NBA. And they're like, fucking lunch sack would put him on his ass. It's like, guys, I mean, I hope you're trolling. I'm just going to, for this one, I just go, Grayson, I hope you're trolling.
I think he's trolling. I think Grayson's trolling. And our final one was a tweet directed at you. What do you keep giggling about over there, Trevor?
This one, we've been burying the lead since we started this.
Is it this tweet?
It's this tweet.
Okay.
Oh, the bimbos one? You think this is...
Bimbos and bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Which is nothing but bodybuilding women naked doing
Yes.
porno.
Yes.
I don't know if this was the lead. This was the build. This is what we call the climax because it's a fucking porn.
Troll or moron, this is...
They responded to Prano's tweet. It's called virtue signaling. These guys today won't even make the teams in the 90s, and you know it. People used to play defense, and this dumb fuck spelled it D-E-F-E-N-C-E. Did Scibelli just fall asleep over there? You want to lay on my bed, buddy? No. Okay. Scibelli's, you're tired. Okay. Troll or
Scibelli's like, back in the 90s, this podcast used to be interesting.
Only an hour long.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think for sure a moron.
Yeah. I mean, they spelled defense wrong.
Yeah, but they are Canadian. There's sometimes that.
And did you see my response to that one?
You wrote, "That's certainly a bimbo opinion. Way to stay on brand." Agreed.
I mean, there are people. I just can't believe there are people who believe this.
It's just, like I said, I'm to the point of confused. I'm confused now. I'm confused as what I consider myself a logical person. I might not be right all the time, but I think I have reason, right? And to me, this just isn't reason. And this is another analogy that I used before the show. Trevor and I were talking, and I said, "Look at the NFL, right? Look at the best players. Look at the O-linemen nowadays. These guys are 6'6", 320, running."
Get Scibelli to grab the mic. Scibelli brought up a fantastic point pre-show.
I said the O-linemen now are running 4.7 40s. They're 6'6". They're stacked. And Scibelli,
I was saying this. If you look at my grandfather's stats when he was in college and then in the NFL, he was about 6 foot, about 250 pounds, and he played guard for 15 seasons in the NFL. My grandfather wouldn't even start in a lot of high schools nowadays.
You said he's about your size.
He's about my size. And that's like the thought that he wouldn't start at some high schools today is kind of insane if you really think about it.
By the way, this is Scibelli talking. This is the home side versus the away side of the field. This is the Dodgers are still coming back. Like, even Scibelli, this is his family he's talking about. He's not my dad. My grandfather was gutsy. He'd be doing it today, undersized. He's like, he would be not starting on high school teams.
But it's wild because the whole concept of, well, the rules have changed. Yeah, the NBA rules have changed. So have the NFL's.
Yeah.
So have Major League Baseball. All sports and professional leagues rules have changed.
Right.
Guys, let me just put it in context. Let's talk about fucking Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers or the Carson Wentz, these quarterbacks nowadays that are not only so precise in their passing ability, they can also run. They can avoid tackles. I mean, it's like Michael Vick was Randall fucking Cunningham 2.0 on steroids. Like,
yeah.
We have and 20 years from now, guess what? They're going to be even better.
Yeah.
And there might be someone better than LeBron James 25 years from now. It's probably going to happen. Accept progress.
Yeah.
End of story. You know what these people need? You know what they need to start with? To maybe get their life in order? Blue Apron.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, the people that are sending those tweets, they're not the type of people who have the brain capacity to go to a supermarket and buy all the little ingredients that they need to make a meal. What they need is an entire meal showing up to their front door in a box with directions, spices, protein, vegetables, the whole thing. They'll probably still mess it up, but at least they'll have a chance.
Couldn't be more convenient, couldn't be more easy, couldn't be more practical.
Blue Apron does for meals what Steve Kerr does for the 90s versus today argument. It lays it out perfectly. It's hard to mess it up.
I just cooked some Blue Apron last week. I cooked some white cheddar cheeseburgers with balsamic glazed onion and roasted potatoes. And it was delicious. And me, who is not a chef, we all know this. I don't have a good track record of cooking things. They lay it out step by step. Could not make it any easier. So Dirtballs, check out this week's menu with Blue Apron because you get your first 3 meals free at blueapron.com/dirty. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Once again, that's blueapron.com/dirty for your first 3 meals free at Blue Apron. Okay, so here's what I was thinking, and we don't have to do this, but we got our first ever intern, the original OG Joe Scibelli, and we have
back when interns were interns. Not these soft-ass interns today.
Yeah.
Scibelli would put EJ on his ass.
Yeah.
Leave on a stretcher.
And now we have EJ, our latest intern. Who is now the more progressive.
I wonder if there are dirt balls in that. I liked it better when it was all white interns. Like, back in the day when they were big and white, they didn't say anything. They didn't do anything. They just brought coffee. That's for the good old days of interns.
Fucking Puerto Ricans. He probably wants to throw a parade fucking in the smut studio.
Puerto Ricans doing video. No one needs it. I need donuts and shaboring stories.
Fucking this guy speaking in Spanish. Nobody wants that chorizo shit.
Talking about refugees.
Yeah, I know it's Mexican. That was the joke. I know. Although I do not know what a Puerto Rican delicacy is. What is
rum? Maybe some rum. You know.
What's a Puerto Rican meal?
A Puerto Rican meal? You could do
it's rice and beans. Come on.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's like. You can do arroz con arepas, which is like it's like a.
Say it again.
Arepas are like they're like a
dick hard.
It's like a dough type thing. It's kind of like it's kind of bread, but it's fried.
Okay.
That's usually always on the side with like arroz and like pollo and arroz, todo like that.
Now you just say chicken in Spanish.
No, like with chicken and rice is like a major thing. There's mofongo, which is like I think it's
he played for the Raptors.
Yeah.
It's like a mashed up plantain and it has other stuff like mixed into it. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Mofongo is the guy's name who played on that high school team.
Bouvier Portley Mofongo.
Arepa.
So here's what I was thinking. Do we want to play a game? This is completely not organized at all, but I found an old game. We could do the Interns Know. What do you think? Scibelli versus EJ. I could get off camera, go in the corner where Scibelli's sitting, and have these guys. And this would be literally an old one that we've already used because I was like, I'm not creating a new one. Which was testing both these guys.
First one to one? First one to get one, next point wins?
What do you think, Prano?
Sure.
All right, you guys want to hop over here then? The three of you guys on the couch. And here, Scibelli, we'll do this.
I'm assuming I need the headphones for these as well.
It's a Joe sandwich over here. No, it's you. I don't need one.
Oh, okay. Which ones do you want?
We're all recording. We should keep talking.
No. We don't. What do we? I don't need a pair of headphones. Don't worry. I got this.
Don't you want to hear it?
No, I'll be fine.
You sure?
We're going to do tech during the show. I remember the old Dirty Sports days where they had all their interns have headphones before the show started. Scibelli?
I got
EJ?
nothing.
Oh man, this is gonna be.
I feel like I'm gonna know the clips just from the reaction. I bet you I'll know the clips just from Ruther's setup.
Oh god.
He's gonna be like, who said this about playoffs? Who said this about playoffs?
All right,
Well,
well,
Ruther extra teases things.
here's the deal.
Which one of these guys talking
You guys are going to have to share a
Hates-
mic.
Yeah, that's fine.
practice? Who is this that hates practice?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with EJ.
Oh, sweet.
Who is who they thought they were?
Funny, because I just pulled that clip up. Okay. EJ, who said this?
Picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears that would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bullshit? Bullshit. We played them in the third game. Everybody played three quarters. The Bears
EJ.
are what we thought they were.
Who said that?
Oh, I'm gonna actually throw this one to Scibelli.
Scibelli now, I love whenever Scibelli plays this game after the first time. Maybe he did it the first time too. He just stares coldly off into the distance, trying not to show one way or the other, whether he knows it or not.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't, but I know that.
Wait, hold on a second. You have no clue?
No,
You didn't just do this on the last episode.
no, he didn't do this one.
No, but I've played this one every single time almost.
EJ doesn't listen to the show.
I do listen to the show.
Scibelli?
Yeah, I don't remember either.
This is amazing. I teased it before it happened.
Prano, fucking, that was the ultimate Pre-Nostradamus.
Yeah, right? Okay, guys. Which one of these people cannot wait for something? Which guy
You
cannot
neither
wait?
of you guys know.
I can't remember his name. No.
Okay, I just want to say in my defense, I hadn't had this question asked to me before.
Do you guys have any idea what this guy looks like? What is?
What skin color are we
Yeah.
He's African American.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, Scibelli. I like it.
Scibelli,
Well-
also politically correct,
Yeah.
African American. That would be Dennis Green, former RIP, rest in peace.
We
Former,
should just do the interns know what race is talking Yeah. For half a point. Can you tell from the sound of his voice?
Okay, Scibelli, we're going to give you the lead on this one now. Name this person. Again, these are all ones that have already been used. Let's see if I can find a date on this. Oh, this was last edited May 21st.
I can kind of hear it.
This was May 21st, 2017. Not that helps, but anyway.
So almost exactly a year ago.
Exactly. All right. When you were home last year at this time, right when you got back. All right. So name this person.
We see the buckets. Now there's a third bucket this week. I think what happened, there's always been like a mother and father. Like this is a father bucket, this is a mother bucket. And since the last game,
That Joe's
they
mom
had a baby
mentioned
bucket.
he didn't know this answer.
Scibelli's mom mentioned this when we went to
Yeah.
the Rams game with his family. Scibelli, who said that?
John Madden.
Oh! Scibelli does know. Well, we're literally playing a couple of these because this is just pathetic. Okay.
Good job.
So Scibelli won.
Would you have gotten that, EJ?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Without a doubt in my mind.
Okay. EJ,
Yes.
who said this?
Can't wait.
Bart Scott.
Ah,
See you in Pittsburgh.
he got it. I was going to say. Okay, we're back to Scibelli. Let me see. The sports ones are the best because you guys just don't know sports. Okay. Let's try this one. All right, Scibelli. You ready?
I'm ready.
Name this movie.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America is ruled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game.
Scibelli?
Field of Dreams.
Oh, they started slow.
Trevor didn't know that one.
Oh, because James wrote. Yeah.
Okay.
Trevor sent me Sandlot. I'm listening. I'm like, no, that's not it.
Okay. EJ,
All right.
name this movie.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, so I'm going to do one of these shot in the dark. I'm going to go Major League. I don't know.
Look at this guy. Getting all cocky now,
These are
remembering something he heard
All the
3
ones that
days
I've already
ago.
was asked.
I mean, you were just asked this last
Exactly.
week. Okay. It looks like they're starting to come along. Let's try. Oh, there's no way you guys get it. There's no way Scibelli gets this. But let's test it out. I think Prano gave me shit for this, saying, of course he wouldn't get this. All right, Scibelli.
First, I'm gonna start off like this. Hey, help me sing it, homeboy. Come on. Say Coke 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. We can go to the park after dark, smoke that tumbleweed. As the marijuana burn, we can take our turn singing them dirty rap
You know?
songs.
Is it the 6th floor gang or 6th floor?
Are you referring to the 7th floor crew?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you? Did you think Ruther pulled a clip of the Miami team?
The 6th floor
Thing?
gang. I love that. That's amazing.
EJ for the steal? No. You guys
At
don't.
least had a guess.
True. That would be Afro
I couldn't
Man.
hear it. Oh, Afro Man? I couldn't hear it, but I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not the 7th Floor Crew.
That'd be Afro Man. Okay. All right. Do we want to do one more? It's tied up. They're gonna get all these. Let's try this one. Let's see here. All right. Whose turn is it?
My turn.
All right. Name this movie.
What's at this point? That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, Mr. Jokey. Joke maker. But let me hit you with some knowledge. You should quit now and save yourself the embarrassment of losing with these losers in Las Vegas, LaFleur.
Dodgeball.
Oh. He knows his movies. Damn. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find one more. Oh, yeah, this will be funny. Okay.
Will it?
If Scibelli gets this, he's tied. If he doesn't get it, game over. How about that? All right, Scibelli, name this movie. Hold on one second. Let me see what the clip is. Okay, Scibelli, name this movie.
Such a dickhead. Whose butt did you kiss to get in here, huh?
Well, the list is long but distinguished.
Yeah, well, so's my Johnson.
Top Gun.
Oh! I was hoping to get him on long and distinguished. Did not work. You guys are going to know all these, I think.
I mean, we can just call it a tie, as it's both of us not knowing a lot of things.
Okay, first one to shout it out, to yell it.
Oh, speed round.
First one to yell it.
This is good. It's like name that tune.
Oh, shit.
I'll hold the mic in the middle.
Did they fucking take it down because of what's going on? Okay, no. Okay, first one to raise their hand. Yeah, first one to raise their
Fucking yell it out. I'm right here.
First one to yell it out.
Go ahead on, break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do.
I knew exactly what it was going to be, but I could see it on his face.
All right, we got to end with R. Kelly Ignition.
I should have yelled it out before even hearing it.
That is another edition of Do the Interns Know? I can't believe they both missed Dennis Green. I can, actually.
Yeah, I 100% can. Well, that was fun, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Never gets old.
So, Ruther, speaking of the interns, there was a little talk before the show. Did we talk about it on air or not? That we play these guys 2-on-3 in hoops? Did we already cover this on the air?
No, we didn't cover it on air.
Look at Trevor.
Trevor's heated.
Trevor's heated. You know, actually, you know what we'll do? We'll play them 3-on-3. We'll just pick up a random girl to cover Trevor. Oh! Yeah.
Oh, Scibelli with the Kevin Durant comment.
Yeah. Fucking piling on Trevor. Trevor can't breathe. There's 6 dudes on top of him right now.
So, Prado texted me yesterday that he thinks we could take the 3 of them 3-on-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's your
thought?
thought?
I thought the Dodgers were going to win the World Series last year.
Yeah.
We all made wrong predictions.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't.
First, I'll let Trevor speak. Trevor, what's your thought process when he says that?
1, still not scared. 2, we'll take Prano and his 15 to 20 missed layups. Get Scibelli down on the blocks. His big body, he'll get Prano under control.
Scibelli's like, what are you signing me up for?
Once again, number 3, still not scared.
My strategy is a 1-1 stacked zone. You just have to run at everybody that's taking a jump shot from outside of 7 feet. Any sort of thing in the paint, I'll just be long wingspan guy, just contesting. And if they make their shots on you, then we'll lose. And if they don't make their shots on you, then we'll win.
So you're saying you're going to be gobbling up rebounds like Dennis Rodman?
Well, yeah. I mean, Scibelli's a big guy, but like he's not big enough to. I mean, I don't. Don't get me wrong. Scibelli, high school athlete, had a PG year. Looks like, athletic family, but doesn't seem like a leaper. Doesn't seem like a real leaper, that Scibelli.
Box you out, though. He's gonna box
But
you
that's
out,
the thing. Scibelli can stick his ass into you, box you
Sure.
out.
Remember Big Country? Remember
Yeah.
Big,
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
be a lot of Big Country.
Big Country was-
Scibelli to Bryant Reeves.
Actually, a lot of Big Country. He's gonna box
More of an
you the
Oliver
fuck
Miller
out.
type, but I see where you're going.
Here's a great question. Let's see.
Big city for Joe Scibelli.
Let's see if these guys know this. Which team drafted Big Country?
Is it Jazz?
Well, I think it was the first.
The Vancouver
Yeah, it was
Grizzlies.
the first Grizzlies draft pick.
Do we know where Big Country went to school? Oklahoma State.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say LSU.
Yeah, Vancouver Grizzlies. Was that a Magic Johnson draft pick?
No, Magic Johnson didn't have anything to do with the Grizzlies.
The Vancouver Grizzlies? Hell no.
Yeah, he did.
Magic Johnson?
Wasn't Magic Johnson one? Look that up.
No, Isaiah Thomas was the Raptors guy.
I thought Magic Johnson was a GM or owner or
Of Vancouver?
president of operations or something.
I don't think so.
Just put Magic Johnson in Vancouver Grizzlies. I think there's something there. Regardless, Friday, Scibelli, are you in town? If you want to grab the mic real quick, are you in town? Are you gone?
On Friday, I'm in town.
Now, here's the only problem. I'm getting a physical Friday, and I got to give a lot of blood. What? I got a physical set up Friday.
Have an orange juice. Jesus. Have a fucking cookie, buddy. Giving blood? You worried about passing out?
Well, I mean, I have a full physical. He's probably going to shove a finger in my ass. Like, it's a
You're
full
not 40, dude. You're 36.
I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
36. Did I just make up Magic
Yeah.
in Vancouver?
Isaiah Thomas was with the Raptors.
There's nothing on Magic with Vancouver.
No, because it never happened. Magic Johnson?
There's nothing. Well, we can try to play Friday is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
If you guys want to do it.
It's great.
Prano, before we wrap up this show, I know there's a lot of shit we didn't get to, but this is what I love. I'm trying not to go on the rundown as much. We have to talk about the Supreme Court decision with legal gambling now.
Yes. Congratulations. There's legal gambling. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
I'm really hopeful that we go to like the European model. Betting windows, like OTB again. You remember OTB? Off-track betting?
Yeah.
It's like you could just go into like a little booth and bet on horses. I'm hoping that there's like an off-court betting, OCB.
Well,
you just go in and you pick some basketball games.
Well, I was listening to what you and Laz were saying on Dirty Slides today.
Yep.
And Laz didn't have too much confidence in the state of California, where you were saying, because this is state by state, just so everybody knows. Basically, it's like everything in this country.
Right.
Like it first was with abortion, and now with legal marijuana. It's a state by state basis. You were basically saying California lawmakers couldn't be this dumb to fuck it up.
Yeah, I just don't think so. Especially given, first of all, they were early adapters to medical marijuana, relatively early for legal marijuana, cannabis. Also, they just need money. Like the state of California is broke, so why are you not taking whatever? I'm sure it's going to be just like betting with a bookie or betting with Vegas. I'm assuming the VIG will go to, some portion of each will go to the state and the bookie. I honestly don't know how it works when there is. Does the state, like in Vegas, do the state tax their winnings, or just like every bet, or whatever the case may be? There's definitely money to be made by the state.
Well, and let me put it this way: as someone who lived there, there's so many benefits. There's no state income tax,
right?
Which is huge for residents. That's huge. And I also think, though, what I'm very curious about, speaking of Las Vegas, is how this affects their economy. I texted my buddy. Obviously, I do that trip every year.
Yeah.
Go to March Madness. And my buddy and his friends, those guys put down some fucking money. Those guys have some money. He said he thinks that trip, he goes, dude, that trip to Vegas that we always do won't happen in 2 years.
I disagree. Because it is very possible, if you wanted to sit home and bet on college basketball now,
okay,
that you could do it. And it's not that hard. There's a million different sites They're all out there. They've all been,
offshore.
Yeah,
usually.
they've all been promoted for years. Like the percentage of people, I know that there's always people who are like, I'm not trying to give my money to some electronic offshore. How do you get paid? But like gamblers do. The people that don't, like the people that go to Vegas for March Madness, like what portion of that is really about the betting and what portion about that is going to sit at a table with 7-year dudes? And like also Vegas is a destination. Vegas, people are going to gamble. People are also going because it's Vegas. Like, it'll hurt their economy because you won't have, but like degenerate gamblers are still going to want to be at casinos because the life of a casino is still like a degenerate mecca. You can play blackjack, you can play craps, you can play whatever. Like this is sports gambling and sports gambling only.
I get that, but someone like me who says, "Oh, I like to go to Vegas one NFL Sunday a year to gamble on some games." Dude, if there's a casino in LA,
but that's the thing, it won't be the atmosphere. I don't think that there's going to be sports books where you're going to go in and like I'm sure there's going to be things with like, oh, you can't drink on the premises where you're gambling. I don't think these are going to be locations where you're like, I'm going to go sit in this sports bar and make some bets. I think it's going to be more like strip clubs where it's like they can only be so close to a school, they can only be so close to this, they can only be so close to that. It's a betting window. It's it's like a convenience store where you can go in and you make your parlays, you make your whatever. I can't imagine, and I could be wrong, I don't know all the legality of it, but I can't imagine that it's going to be Buffalo Wild Wings where you can just be like, give me 20 on the Pacers.
Yeah.
Like if it is, fuck yeah, that's going to be dope.
Well, look, dude, I think this is, long overdue. We'd both agree. And the leagues, though, are interesting that they want a cut. Now, both the NBA and Major League Baseball kind of saw this, and especially the NBA was basically for it because they want that 1%. I actually had a conversation, not that my dad knows because he doesn't follow the gambling stuff enough,
right?
But he does know the economic side.
Yep.
I called my dad about it because I was curious to hear his take, and he goes, why? And I don't know, again, if he knows what he's talking about. His point was, why should the NBA get a cut? Like what my dad said, what clout do they have to say that they get 1%?
Right.
What does a sportsbook or a casino popping up in California, what does the NBA have to, like, people are going to gamble regardless. Why should they get a cut?
Well, I guess.
Or what is their tactic to strong arm these states into saying, hey, we need to get that 1%?
I mean, I think it's basically just to keep people, like, to keep every side happy. It's like it's 1%, right? So, I mean, there's so much that comes with like, oh, we're going to do our part to make sure that, refs aren't fixing games, that players aren't fixing games. Like, if this is going to be so much more popular that anybody's going to be able to do it, you are putting a burden on us. Now there's going to be more people that do want to fix games. There's going to be more people that do want to, affect the point spread. What's the reason not for a guy not to know that is a part of it? What's the reason for Chris Paul to not know that like the Rockets are favored by 13 and go like, oh, my boy who lives here in Texas, who I just saw today, bet us plus 14. Like at the end of the game, instead of dribbling out, I'm going to get one more bucket. And you're putting a burden on the leagues to say, look, we're going to have to do one thing in training camp every year that says, guys, gambling's legal now. Just remember, it's completely against the rules to, affect that in any way. Like, don't be caught in any of those places. Don't talk to any of those people. You can't put us in a position where anybody thinks we're doing it. So for 1% to say, hey, we're going to make sure that everything's on the level on our side, for 1%. For 1%. And the NFL probably won't do anything, and they'll just take their 1%, and then guys will be fixing games because the NFL is fucking like, whatever. But we'll see. I mean, I think that's...
Do you think that'll change the psychology of people watching games? Like, do you think it'll affect the average fan that much on how they watch games? Because, to me, the marijuana analogy is similar.
Yeah.
Because marijuana is fully legal here now, right? have I smoked more marijuana?
I think the people, like, do you know these people who are like, I mean, you were kind of one of those guys where you were like, I don't want to be on a list of people that medical marijuana. Like, the idea that you waited for it to be completely legal before signing up for it, it's like, why?
Well, because I just didn't care. Like, first of all, people like you could have just got me the weed all the time.
Right.
But what I was going to say about
Thanks for that.
but
I'm your fucking original intern, like, because you'll get it for me.
Well, we live right next to each other. But what I was going to say about
you're like the pizza tracker from Domino's, except for weed.
Yeah.
Joe has left the dispensary.
That would be great.
Joe is preparing your joint.
That'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
Does somebody have a weed tracker? Does Weed Maps have a weed tracker?
I have no idea.
What I was going to say was the argument against marijuana was now that it's legal, everybody's going to be smoking. I look at myself. I actually talked about Trevor before the show. Now that marijuana is legal, now that there is, even though it's the worst, fuck you, Green Goddess, by the way. You're getting bad plugs now. Now that, even though there's the worst dispensary ever across the street from me, I don't think maybe I'm smoking a little more, but not really. Like, it hasn't affected me. So my question is, will gambling, like how marijuana has become legal, affected fans on how they're watching
I really
games?
don't think so. It's going to affect the 2% of people who are like, I wasn't smoking cannabis because it was illegal, but now that it's legal, I'll try it. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? So it's like, the guy was like, what do I do? I like call a bookie up? Like, where do I even start? Some Italian guy comes to my house with a leather jacket. His name's Vig. It's like, no, Vig's like the percentage that, well, I don't want him anywhere near me. It's like
a gay Southern guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Bouvier.
I'm here to play basketball.
I'm Bouvier Gilroy. I'm not about to let some bookie into my home.
I swear, I date 14-year-old girls.
But like, I mean, I think if you wanted to bet on sports before, I've bet in casinos. I've bet with bookies. I've bet on gambling websites.
Yeah.
I've bet through friends on gambling websites. I bet everywhere I can because I want to bet on sports. So it's not going to affect me. Like, I don't think, maybe for me, like, it'll affect me and like, if I'm driving down the street and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that fucking betting window. I would love to get a last minute parlay and, I don't want to go on my phone and do the whole fucking, and yeah, maybe. And honestly, a lot of people like to hold tickets. And I'll tell you one thing, it'll definitely increase. For some reason, I don't know why, I don't ever do a futures bet on the internet. I never put a bet through for like the Mets to win the World Series or like the Giants to go to the Super Bowl. I only do those things when I'm in a casino.
Yeah.
I'll bet games online, but I never do those things. And then whenever I'm in a casino, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be back for a while. I'll put, like, every year I'm going to go to the betting window and be like, $50 on the Giants. Why not?
Sure.
Because come Super Bowl time, I'll be like, oh, fuck, man. I bet I'm on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I still have my 2 cards. I have $10 in the Reds to make it to the World Series. And
how many games? What's their magic number for elimination? They're like 11 more losses. They're out.
And I have $25 and them winning 75 games, which will also not happen.
They're 14-39 or something like that. Like what's their record?
They won today, but yeah, they're pretty bad. But they did just sweep the Dodgers, who Scibelli still thinks apparently watching.
It's too early.
The pre-show, he thinks it's too early. Well, guys, that's the show. It's been fun having everybody back. I feel like
I don't know what was on the rundown because I didn't read it, but there's no way we got to everything. We talked about like 5 things, but I can't wait for it to be over.
You came over the show. I thought this was a great show, personally. I mean,
we're all going out to the bar. I thought that's 5 dudes going out drinking.
Scibelli, you 21?
Yeah. Can't wait.
Scibelli getting so drunk. Shaboy. Prano.
Shabudweiser.
What you got going on?
JoePrano.com for all my shows. Got a couple weeks back in LA here before the tour continues. We got the 11/11 show, which is this weekend at Laz's place.
I'm going to have to stop by.
Yeah, after your hostel show, come cruise by. JoePrano.com for all my shows. Tahoe, then New York. Couple weeks in Washington, San Diego. All kinds of stuff coming up. So go there.
I'll definitely be at the show in Spokane.
Yeah, come through. And then also in Washington is Bingle Fest, which Eddie Ift wants to remind all you dirtballs that have come over as shitheads. Some of the backbones of this show are shitheads. So I hope a lot of you will come to Bingle Fest out in the woods in Washington. At Fix Your Life on Twitter, Joe Prano on Instagram. Oh, and there's dudes shirts now, huh, Andy?
Yeah, I did put that on the rundown. Did you see that?
I didn't. No, I didn't read the rundown. I don't. I mean, I know you put special things on there for me sometimes, but don't, because I'm not going to read it. I don't know in advance.
Should I just not do a rundown at this point?
No, it's good for these guys.
Yeah, but you guys are talking 5% of the show. Okay. I like it for myself, actually.
I know you do.
That's
Keep
what I
doing
do. Yes, we have.
It's one of those things. It's like a safety net, Andy. You have to do it just in case I check it.
Wait, for you?
Yeah, just in case.
Or for me, just in case we run out of shit to talk about, which we won't. But
right.
So we have Dirty Slides T-shirts, and we have, what do you call them, the baseball?
Yeah, raglan tees.
Raglan tees.
3/4 length baseball tees, white with the blue sleeves.
Those are the hot selling ones so far.
Yeah?
The raglan.
It's just like the shirt I was wearing the other day, with my Ham's beer shirt with the bear on it. We got those with Dude on it. Dude, Dirty Slide shirts.
Yeah, so check that out, all at dirtysports.com. And subscribe to us on YouTube, guys. You get all these great videos. You get the interns. You get a pre-show sometimes. You get to see us live. The whole shebang.
If we play 3-on-2 on Friday, we just got to set up the Mevo.
It needs internet. It's a
Just to
problem.
record?
Yeah, it's the one downfall.
We'll set up an iPhone on a.
You could do a hotspot, but I don't know if I trust a $600 camera with crackheads everywhere.
We'll set up an iPhone on a tripod.
Yeah. I mean, there's too many weirdos. Yeah, we'll set that up. And drop us an iTunes review, guys. It takes 2 seconds. Put 5 stars, iTunes review. Follow us at The Dirty Sports. You can follow me at Andy Ruther. You can follow Joe Prano at Fix Your Life. And yeah, guys, we're Thuston. So support the show. And let's give some plugs for all the interns today, guys. You can follow EJ at EJ Gomez.
Weird Twitter.
If
you like Weird Twitter.
You can follow. Yeah, he fucking is weird on Twitter, I'll say.
That's why he's called Weird Twitter.
You can follow Trevor at Trevor_Nickel and Scibelli. I'll let you do your own plug. You're near the mic, right?
At Joe Scibelli.
Thank God we waited the 3 seconds for that.
Grabbed the mic.
Perfect. Well, guys, thanks for listening to the show.
That's Weird Twitter, 2-a-days, and Chaboring, the dream team.
Fucking whack fackle interns. Yeah. It's been fun, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.
I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Danny Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.